Okay. So, everybody, this is my wonderful sister, Robin.
Hi.
She's the oldest in our family,
A debt
but
they
she
can never
looks the
repay.
youngest.
Aw. Look at you.
Yeah. So I'm the biggest and the strongest
That's the truth.
looking. And then Robin is the oldest yet youngest looking. So why did I bring you on the podcast?
Because I'm also your favorite.
I can't say I have favorites and siblings. I only have 3.
I know.
And they're all so sweet.
I know. They really are.
Yeah.
But I've decided in life there's lots of favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're one of my 3 favorite
Thank
siblings.
you. I appreciate that.
So Robin is full of personality. When I was growing up, she basically raised me.
Aw.
My mother, she would beat me. Not really. I'm just kidding. She was wonderful.
Worse.
She wasn't. She would yell at me. And then Robin would come in afterwards and she'd be like, "Are you okay?" You're like,
Roy and my mom. So my mom is stubborn redhead and Roy's a stubborn black-haired.
Black-haired.
So with those 2 stubborn personalities, man, neither could win. It was always a draw. She would say, "You have to sit here until you finish your food," and Roy would be there literally all night. And so I would go in and sneak him food because I felt so bad.
Yeah. I don't even remember this sneaking food thing.
Oh, all the time.
But that sounds awesome.
Yeah. And then he would, if he didn't want to do it, when he wanted to do it, the way he wanted to do it, he wouldn't do it. So potty training was hilarious because he just didn't want to do it. So he would have to sit on the toilet. Same thing. You sit here until you go to the bathroom. And I would be like, I'd go read him stories because he would be there. Like, he's like, "I can't feel my legs."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm like,
your progressive ideals are too much for me. Like, I'll go to the bathroom when I want to go.
Yes.
Not like in this one location
You
on
don't tell
this
me.
porcelain
I'll
device.
tell you. And I'll tell you when, and I'll tell you where.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how.
Like, baby's got it perfect. Diapers, that's like you just go when you want to go. You're not inhibited by location or availability.
And you
You're just
loved
like,
that
I gotta go.
clear till you were like 5.
There we go. Till I'm 5. Robin was like, "Hey, you got to go to first grade." And guess what? They
I
don't
can't go
like
with
diapers there. They will mock you until you start crying and run home.
"Roy, please, let's just go to the bathroom before you hit kindergarten. That's all I ask. I can't come with you to kindergarten."
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't remember that whole thing. I do remember one time where my mom, she wanted to go somewhere and I wanted to go with her, but she was like, "No, you can't go." It was probably like a baby shower or something, which would make sense that she wouldn't want a stupid little kid with her. But so she put me in my room and she's like, "You need to stay in this room." So I like opened the door and like walked out and she's like, "No, you open that door. There's going to be hell to pay," or whatever. Right. And so I closed the door and I'm like, well, if I can't open it, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to break it down. That's right. How come you didn't think of this? Obviously you don't have the brain that I do. So I just banged up against that door as hard as I could. Obviously a 4-year-old body or 5-year-old body, however old I was at the time, is not enough to break through a door. But like I would ram the door as hard as I could. And then I'd go to the window and I'm like, she hasn't left. Ram it again, go to the window. I saw her in the car and I'm like, "No, ram. And then I like looked and then she drove off. And then I was like, okay, this door ramming thing's stupid.
But this isn't the first time and only time you tried that, because she would stand at the door and you would ram it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She would block the door and you would ram it. So it worked while she was giving you the attention. And then after she didn't hold the door closed or care, drive off, you were done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I was raising my kids and I was trying to get them to sleep on their own, right? I would go and put them in their bed and then I'd be like, give them a little, back rub or something. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going. And then I'd walk out and I would close the door and I'd just sit there by the door. And then inevitably 30 seconds later, they'd open the door and I'm like, "Ha ha, I caught you. You can't leave. You got to go back. And they're like, oh. I'd take them back to their bed. Then I'd come outside, close the door, and sit there in front of the door. I had to do that for a while until finally they were like, okay,
This is not going to
Dad's
work.
outsmarted me. I'll get him in the next stage of whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure they're getting you now.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still pretty bright,
Yeah, you are.
clever.
You are the smart one of the family,
Yeah,
too.
I didn't teach them to be, as devious
Yeah.
as I am.
Yeah.
That's not one thing that you should pass down, probably.
Probably not. Don't tell them your secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
But enough about me. What devious things did you do to your parents? Or were you like this wonderful child?
He asked me that knowing the answer to that. So the reason Roy owes me for the rest of his life is because I raised our parents and
You raised
trained
them.
our parents and put them through so much crap that by the time they got to Roy, seriously, they were done. They were like, do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want.
That's so true. Like when I was in high school, they went to bed, at the old people bedtime, like 8:00. And they never like talked to me about, hey, be good or something. There's like, we're going to bed. We're tired.
Yeah. No.
And then I did whatever I wanted.
Yeah. My
And
experience was
the next
so different.
morning, did they ask me what I did? No. It was blissful ignorance for them.
I know. It's so unfair. Seriously. So, yeah, I raised my parents that you just can't tell your kids what to do.
That's what you were trying to
I tried
teach
to
them.
teach them.
Okay.
It was a lifelong lesson. You just can't tell me what to do. Doesn't work. See, that's why you had it so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They finally figured it out.
Yeah.
They're like, we're not going to tell this Roy kid what to do.
Yeah. And when they did tell you what to do, they lost anyways.
Yeah.
So you kind of finished the deal.
They, maybe I taught them a little bit when I was like 5 years old that you couldn't teach me what to do.
Yeah. Between me being 15 and you being 5,
They're like, this kid stuff
I don't know why they
sucks.
didn't quit.
Whose idea was this?
It's so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did all the things. I would sneak into our garage and lift it, and then I would push the car out of the driveway, and I would take the car and do donuts up in the canyons, pick up all my friends because we had a station wagon, the best station wagon ever.
Wow.
Huge motor, could go way over 120 on the freeway, would spin out donuts.
Did you
for
have a
days.
driver's license at this time or?
Yes. I
Okay.
did. Yeah,
So
I did.
you were at least obeying the law.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
way,
not the law of the house.
way past curfew.
Okay.
And yeah, so I did it all.
So
They would ground me all the time. I remember my 9th grade year, I had a calendar and I would mark an X on the days I was grounded and leave it blank on the days I wasn't. And I was grounded more than I was ungrounded.
wow.
Yeah. So
How would you become ungrounded?
I think they would just forget. And
Okay.
then I would get
So
in
they're
trouble.
like, you're grounded. And then the next day you're like, sneaky, sneak.
Well, Mom's really, really good at following through. That is one of Mom's great talents. What she says, you're grounded till Wednesday, you are grounded till Wednesday
Okay.
midnight.
So would she
assuming
would she
you
put
would
a
be
deadline
asleep.
on it then?
Yeah, and
She's
she
like,
would follow
you're grounded
that.
until Wednesday.
Yeah, and then
And you're like,
sometimes
but
I
it's
would.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, sometimes I would get grounded while I was grounded. I'm like, Mom, I'm already grounded. Seriously. So I would go in my room, 2nd story room, because she didn't put me in the basement room anymore because the windows were right next to the ground, so I could just climb out and go.
Okay.
So she put me on the 2nd floor next to her room. I'd jump out of the window
Jumped out of the window.
all the time.
Freaking
daily.
You were the OG Supergirl.
It's like, yep. I
Like
would
the
just
movie
jump
came out
window,
in the 80s
Yeah.
and the 70s.
I learned
You were freaking
jump out the window and roll.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
were parkour.
Yeah, totally.
You're the OG parkour.
Yep.
You jump out, hit the ground, roll,
Hit the ground, roll, and
And then
keep
you're
running.
okay.
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah. She'd
How
be
come
like,
I
you
didn't
can't
know
go to
you were
that.
a ninja?
I know. I don't know why you didn't know I was a
What the
ninja.
crap?
You were too young.
Oh, yeah.
You were too young to know all the ninja things I did. All
Okay.
the really bad things I did. It was good. It was good you were protected because you still got the benefits.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I never jumped out of the window. Never had to.
You never had to.
I just went straight to the door.
Yeah. You could leave anytime you wanted to.
Yeah.
Come back anytime you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never knew. They were asleep. blissfully.
No, I had a timer. Like if I was 10 minutes after school, I was grounded.
Oh, because you were out.
couldn't
they
even-
didn't want you to
I
be
couldn't
out with
even-
friends and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't even walk home from school and like lollygag or chill or chit chat or whatever. Had to be home right after school.
Dang. Slave drivers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, now that I'm hearing some more stories, I am starting to become more grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if you had chores like we did. Did you have chores like we did? Like Jen and I, she had the downstairs and I had the upstairs every day. And the upstairs and downstairs consisted of washing the leaves on the plants.
Yeah,
Dusting,
I
washing
never,
the bathroom, doing downstairs you got the laundry, upstairs you got the kitchen. Like every day. And my friends, if they came over, they had to work.
right.
That was just how it was. I know your friends were
That's what
like
I'd do.
the same.
My friends,
Yeah.
I'd be like, get to work, bro.
Yeah. If you want me to come play, help me out with these chores, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had chores, so I mowed the lawn.
Mm.
And none of our listeners know this, but our lawn was like 10 acres.
Yeah.
It was gigantic. And did we have a riding lawnmower? No, we didn't.
Heck no. And you want to know what? Something, Roy? Dad wouldn't let me mow the lawn. Do you want to know why?
Because you're a girl.
Yes.
Oh. But I still had to wash the dishes every once in a while.
Can you name how many
you're
times?
you're like, when did this happen?
When? Ever.
So I don't remember doing a lot of stuff until you guys left. Then I did everything.
Oh.
Because Dave, he didn't exist, apparently, like according to my parents.
Dave
Got off with doing nothing.
yeah. Dave is sneaky, man. Dave kills you with kindness.
Yeah.
He'll just say, oh, yeah, okay, Mom, and then do it anyways. He'll go do something he's not supposed to do, but he's so nice and so happy and so polite and so kind and so lovey that he just got away with murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would be
ended up taking up
you
the
can't
slack.
tell me what to do. I'm doing what I want. I should have never said that.
That's
I should have
what
just done what I
that's my
wanted.
road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave's like, oh, you're right, Mom. Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
You're right. I'll do that next time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Forgot it.
Yeah. Did
1
I not
second
do
later.
that? Did I leave? Did I go up to the cabin with a girl and alcohol? Oh, did I? I'm sorry.
No, I would never do
I
anything like
don't
that.
know.
What? The police caught me?
It's fine.
They're racist against white people.
I didn't even do anything wrong while I was up there.
No.
And our parents are like, absolutely, you didn't. You poor boy.
You poor
The
boy.
victim of the
I'm
police.
sure Robin.
I'm sure Robin talked you into it anyways.
She probably brainwashed you.
Exactly.
Told you to go to do these things
It was
just
her
to get
fault.
back.
Yeah, because she was a bad example.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you guys left, I have 2 older sisters, 1 older brother. But the distance between me and my brother is 1.5 years. And then my sister's, Jen, is 5 years older. So you're 6.5 years older.
And I'm a year and a half older than her. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting because we had a blonde and brunette girls, and then we had a blonde and brunette boys. So we're like the same people, but
Backwards.
just a female and a male version.
Oh, yeah.
Because Roy and I are super
Skipped
similar,
over.
and you and Jen are super similar.
Yeah. So it kind of went the bad girl, good boy. He wasn't
Bad
really a good
boy.
boy. I was the good boy.
Yes, you were. That's what I'm
He
saying.
was just the
He was just nice
sneaker.
about it.
He was the bad boy in disguise.
Yeah, he was the bad boy. He was like the wolf with the sheep with wolf clothing. How do you say?
Yeah, the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, he
totally was.
he was totally. I was just the wolf. I was straight up
Like,
fangs,
straight up
this is-
gangster wolf.
Exactly. But he had the little sheep's clothing, so you didn't know. But
Yeah.
He was just as bad as I was.
And he was all in that. Bah,
Yeah.
bah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you
I'm
were
not
the
doing that
good
noise.
boy, but we get in trouble more than him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you guys left, I lived downstairs and I had to vacuum the whole downstairs, clean the bathroom. And then I mowed every week because Dave was, I don't know, doing whatever he was doing with his friends, whatever. And then it wasn't good enough. So she would yell at me all the time. And I was like, this sucks. Where's my sisters?
Why do I got to do this? Since
They're
when
the
did
ones
this become
supposed to
a
be
thing?
getting yelled at. I don't want to get yelled at.
Got my whole life without being yelled at.
That's funny.
Robin did that.
That's funny. So Allison wants to do this podcast where we talk about my infamous stories, like in high school, of toilet papering
Oh.
one of my best friend's houses
Love
because
toilet
he didn't
papering.
want to come out and toilet paper with us. So we were like, Mike, let's go out and toilet paper, which we did often. And he was like, no, too old to do that. It's stupid. I don't, that, whatever. So we're like arguing back and forth. And then we're like, well, fine, go home if you don't want to go with us. And he's like, okay, I'll go home. And so then we conspired to like toilet paper his house. So that'll be a whole different podcast. I don't want to take that.
We'll
thing.
have to look up forward to that.
Maybe you can tell me like your absolute fondest memory of being mischievous when you were a high school student.
Mm.
Do you have any of those? Or are they like,
I mean, what
like,
are we?
we
Are we,
ran across the border.
G-rated, PG rated?
yeah, I think we're PG rated.
PG rated?
Yeah, I don't think we have to get into the
Okay.
bad stuff.
Oh, that was censored a little bit. One of my favorite times is when I literally just went and snuck the little, what do you call that car? The station wagon.
Station wagon.
Which would fit so many people in. And I would drive and just take off and go places. We'd go do donuts. I remember one time taking it up to a football game up in Salt Lake, and we were like way over 120 miles an hour on I-15. All my friends in the car. Yeah, I just took,
So your friends didn't make fun of you because you were driving this freaking
station wagon. Heck no.
They were like, this is the coolest car ever.
They
We
really,
can fit all our friends
seriously. It was like a fast, like free bus ride anywhere
like
we wanted
a
to
V8
go.
or something like that.
Yeah, it
right?
was so fast. It was bad A.
Yeah, I just remember sitting in the back, looking
way back,
looking in reverse.
Yeah.
Right. So you're like watching you pass all the cars, and then we would like, as little kids, wave, and then people would be like, "Oh, that's cute," and they wave back.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if they're older, they're like flipping us off.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
Like, huh?
Hey, what? Huh? Not nice.
Yeah. So I remember, wow, if we're talking about the station wagon, we would have these trips to grandma's house. Grandma lived in Tucson, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a whole day's journey, right? 12 hours or something like that. And my parents were so cheap, they didn't want to stop in a motel or whatever. And
Or
so
fast
we
food.
would go the whole way. And they would like pack a big old ice chest with lunch meats
Another
and
one of my jobs.
cheese.
Robin, make dinner.
You were making the sandwiches, which was probably better. But dude, we were the worst, me and my brother. We would like purposefully try and bug Robin, Jenny, so that they would like scream out at mom. And then mom would, of course, go ballistic. So we were like sabotaging this whole trip down to Arizona. We're like, let's get mom pissed off. We're like,
Consciously.
okay, let's just pull Robin's hair. So you just like pull a little bit, and you'd be like, pull it a little bit, pull a little bit, and you'd be like, stop that. And then be like, oh, okay. And then pull a little bit. I told you to stop it. So anyway, it would escalate and be like, Mom, these stupid boys in the back are like, won't quit pulling my hair. So then she would inevitably say, you have to pick it up.
Robin, make them stop?
No, she would.
Oh, don't make me stop the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she would yell back while she was driving.
Yeah.
Mom was always driving. Dad never drove.
No.
So and then she'd be like, if I have to tell you to stop, I'm going to stop this car and you're going to walk the rest of the way. I know that sounds so cliche, but she really did.
Oh, yeah. No, she would stop and we would have to get out.
Yeah. So my brother and I, being the evil twins that we're not twins, but the evil kids, we would push it. So she would slam on the brakes. We're going on the freeway, 70 miles an hour.
Gravel
whatever.
spitting
She's
up
like,
everywhere.
Grrr! We go flying over the back into the seat with
no
you
one
and
wears
Jenny.
seatbelts.
Yeah. Seatbelts. So stupid.
Mm.
So we'd go flying over the seat, and then she would like pull off, and then she'd be like, get out. And we'd be like, no. Blah, 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 blah. So she would either like be like, fine, but if you do it, I'm really going to get out. And then she'd like peel off and go. But one time she made us walk for like, I don't know, 100 feet.
She probably went to the next exit and then turned around and came back and got you.
No, she waited.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Oh, that would be smart, but I don't know. Maybe she wasn't that smart. That would be hilarious though. She drove off
Oh, can you
and then we
imagine?
couldn't see her anymore. We're like, oh, you effed up, Dave. You thought you were smart and getting all mom riled up. But nope, now she didn't back down. She
went ahead and
left us.
I'm surprised she didn't leave you. She followed her lines. Maybe
Yeah.
not so much with you guys. I think her lines got a little less.
I don't know. We were so young back then. It was like 7 or 6
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
We were horrible kids. But what can you do?
Kids are horrible.
Freaking 16 hours in that
I
car.
know.
Ugh.
Do you want to know my favorite memory? Is one time, I guess we didn't pack enough food and
Okay.
Dad was hungry and the world stops when Dad's hungry. And so we stopped at Taco Bell. Do you remember? Our
I don't
very,
remember this.
very first time ever eating a fast food restaurant.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, we ordered tacos. I had never eaten something so delicious in my life. And I made my parents buy me 6 tacos. I was like this big and I ate 6 tacos. All of us were going crazy because it was like so delicious.
Like,
which
I didn't know
kinda
something
tells
like
you
this
about my-
even existed.
I know.
Yeah, I don't remember this. I remember the memory of my first night out, dining out, was when you worked at McDonald's. So we were like, let's go to McDonald's. And my parents were like, I don't think so. And then we were like, no, Robin works there.
And they
They're
probably
like-
didn't even know that.
They're like, okay. So we went there and I ordered like Happy Meal. It was like $2, some ridiculously cheap amount of money. And you like gave me an extra thing of fries or something like that. It was the coolest thing ever. That was the only time I ever remember my parents taking me out to eat ever.
Because one time I worked at the Hebrew Creeper with my best friend's dad. He owned the Hebrew Creeper.
On the train.
Yeah, and I was like 15.
Okay.
And he said something like, "Oh, you know how great a Big Mac is with fries and you dip the fries in the shake?" And I said, "I've never had a Big Mac." He's like, lost his mind.
Right.
You are 15 years old and you have never had a Big Mac. I'm like, I've had a taco at Taco Bell. That's all I know that I've ever had at a fast food restaurant.
Wow.
And
It
I
must
had
have
my
been
first.
such a traumatic event,
Yeah.
like overly awesome that
It
it was like blown out
was
of my mind. I don't remember.
So good. I can't even tell you. I still remember my first Big Mac experience, and I could go eat a Big Mac right now and love every second of it. And dipping those salty fries in a shake, heaven. Pure heaven. Yeah. It's like borderline child abuse.
Dang. Of not taking him out to
Yeah. Come on.
I know, right? Like I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, dude, crap, man.
So
If
good.
you were born when I was born, you'd be licking dirt.
Yeah.
Be
Michelle
like, I'm
Ellsworth.
hungry. What should I eat? Dirt.
Yeah.
That's what's available.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. My friend, Michelle Ellsworth, introduced me to radio. I was probably 14. Not even kidding you. I didn't even know what the radio was. I was raised on Barbra Streisand,
Oh,
Olivia
dang, dude.
Newton-John, Kenny
Dang, dude.
Rogers, Barry Manilow. I had no idea there was
Don't
a
say those
radio.
words. Don't
Yeah.
say those words.
Yeah.
That's
And
like,
then I started playing radio music, and my parents were like, I remember hanging up my first Def Leppard poster. I didn't even think he was that cute, but my dad freaked out about it, so had to hang it up.
oh, really? Is
Yeah.
that what it was? Dude, I've been to two concerts by Def Leppard.
I know, they're
probably
the
one of my
best.
favorite
Yeah,
bands.
me too. I've been to
That
two.
and Rush.
Yes. Yeah.
Ugh.
We were so sheltered.
I know. Like I tell people that when like I'm at the ski resort when we're snowboarding, they're like, "Oh, so have you been snowboarding your whole life?" And I was like, "No. I first started out skiing when I was 17." And they're like, "Wow, what did you do?" And I'm like, "Well, my parents wouldn't pay for it, so it wasn't until I finally got a job and I had my own car that I drove up, and like one of my friends took me on the bunny hill once and he's like, this is how you snowplow. This is how you turn left. This is how you turn right. Okay, see ya. We'll see you at the end of the day." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, run down this till you're good enough. And then you can come over to this other chair and then you can find us." This is of course before cell phones, right? This is back in the freaking early 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hips hurt so bad that day.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're either pizza slicing or French fries down. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. When you graduated past pizza slicing, you went to French fries, and then you were real good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
How do you know this? Pizza slicing
Because
and French fries.
I had the same situation. I was so embarrassed that I had no idea how to ski. We were raised in Utah,
Right.
like our whole lives. And we were the only people in Utah that didn't know how to ski,
Right.
right? All the high schoolers, like, we're going skiing, want to come? And so I went one time with my boyfriend. I wore jeans. I wore nylons and jeans. That's what we wore skiing.
Yeah, dude.
And he was the same way. He's like, you pizza slice and you French fry. That's it. That's all you know.
See, my
need to know
friends
how to
didn't
do.
use those words. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good.
And then he
visual.
was like, okay, see you, babe.
Yeah, talk to me about food and I got you. But yeah, and that was it. So I never went skiing again. And when my kids were little, I was like, this will never happen to my kids. They are going to be amazing skiers. And they took it up, but they didn't really love it. So we never really went. And then one time, I think the same reason, me and my kids were allergic to cold and we just never had the gear.
Okay.
But then about 4 years ago, my lovely husband said, I think we should all learn how to snowboard.
Okay.
And so we all took a family lesson Christmas morning, and it's been a tradition ever since. And we love snowboarding.
Tradition to take lessons on Christmas?
Well,
or
just to
go
do
on
snowboarding
Christmas?
every single Christmas day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we've been snowboarding for 4 years. We are a snowboard family. Yes.
I'm a snowboarder too, bro.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was the exact same way. So we didn't have any snow gear like freaking parkas and snow pants.
Heck no.
So me and my friends, we go up with jeans and, 3 t-shirts and like a jacket.
Cotton. I know.
And we had like a beanie that was made out of cotton.
Yeah.
So
All cotton.
freeze.
Soaking wet.
Just like that.
Yeah.
You'd sweat one ride down, then it'd freeze, and then your head's frozen.
Yeah.
And then did we have goggles? No. So we had these freaking gas station sunglasses that were like POSs, that you got for like $2 or something.
Gosh.
And that's how we skied.
Yeah.
Helmets didn't exist back then.
I'll tell you.
Sorry, bro.
The last time my kids and I skied, I remember the situation. We went skiing with some friends. Same thing. Jeans, it wasn't like we had any warm clothes whatsoever. The last run I did, I remember passing my kids and I said to them, please do not break anything and get down as fast as you can, because if you do break something, I will not come back up and get you. I was so cold. I thought I was going to die. I went down to the bathroom and I remember this distinctly. Jen came in and I was sitting under the dryer, the electric dryer.
Oh, like the hand dryer.
Yep. I was sitting under the electric hand dryer, bawling, sobbing. Yes. I kept hitting the button, sobbing. And she's like, what is wrong? And I'm like, Jen, I've just realized what kind of a person I am. If my kids broke their leg right now, I wouldn't go get them. I am in so much pain. I am so miserable. I am so cold, I think, and I want to die. And that's how bad of a mother I am. And she's like, well, don't worry. They're down now. And I cried even harder because I knew it was safe. Like I could just go
I'm so glad
home and just get warm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. That was the last time we ever went skiing.
So now you got like top of the line.
Yes. My son last
Heat
year.
insulated.
Yeah, we thought we had the top of the line for me, but I was still so cold. And my son last year, he picked me up and he said, we're picking you up and we're going to go buy you the best gear they have available.
Right.
For you to get warm. And we did, but guess what? Next year, I'm getting even better. I'm getting a battery operated coat that keeps you warm.
Yeah, dude.
Battery operated socks, battery operated snow boots. I'm like going full on electronic.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because those jackets for sure exist.
Yeah.
And you could even like probably keep your jacket that you have and just get like a vest.
Yeah. That's
so
what
it
I'm
just
going to do.
keeps your trunk.
Because I have so many layers. I literally am like that kid who can't walk.
Right.
I can't even bend over to put my board on. People are like, what is taking you so long? And I literally can't move.
You're like, I have to go to the bathroom. See you in 45 minutes. Because it's going to take me 30 minutes just to get out all of the shiz that I got on.
He called me 3 times last time we went snowboarding. He's like, are you done yet? I'm like,
what could possibly be taking so long?
Jen's like, no, I've watched the whole thing. She literally peed for 5 seconds, and then the rest of this has been putting back on her clothes.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So next time I'll know. Like if you're like, I got to go to the bathroom, you're like, okay, I'll take another run, maybe 2.
At least 3.
And then we'll pick you up. after
Exactly.
that. No, this is no use.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
No, but to be honest, I really want to say this. Our parents, I mean, we talked a lot of crap on them, but they literally were such good parents because I'll say this. My mom and dad, mom, would never let us fight. Do you remember that? Like she had 0 tolerance for whining.
Yeah.
And 0 tolerance for being unkind to each other.
Yeah. Definitely
0.
we couldn't you couldn't say a bad word.
We could not about each other ever. And
No.
I think that that's why we have been best friends our whole lives. Like my favorite people in the world are my siblings and my extended family. But if I had to pick a friend, it would be my siblings. And I love how we've been kind to each other our whole lives and been close our whole lives. And I think that's why, because
she demanded it.
oh, she would never
There
tolerate
you go,
an
Mom.
unkind
I
word.
didn't remember that. But now that Robin brings it up.
Well, and
We
our
love you
parents had
because of that.
really high standards, like really high standards for education, cleanliness. Like, I mean, my mom was clean freak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was always cleaning.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember waking up at like 5:30 going, what the F, Mom?
That's because we moved out.
The freaking
Yeah.
vacuum cleaner at 5:30.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't sleep. I'm like, okay, maybe dust.
Yeah. I don't know. Wash the leaves on the plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do something that doesn't like require horsepower. You know what I'm saying?
And noise.
a fuel and combustion engine.
Yeah, exactly.
that.
Yeah. No, they were good parents in spite of their
Yeah.
very strong-willed children.
You know, it's kind of funny because like I think the difference between our parents and me as a parent, and the difference is like, I think free play. Like Mom was like, go and play. Always.
Yeah,
like,
she
don't bother me.
never
Go and do something.
took responsibility
Get
for
outta
our
here.
boredom. Never. Yeah.
If I was like, come play with me, he's like, go play with yourself. So, and
You-
we had siblings and stuff. We played
Yeah.
with each other, me and Dave.
Yeah. You were really good at entertaining yourself for hours
Yeah.
and hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and Roy, you and Dave and Jen and I the same. We always had our built-in best friend,
Yeah.
built-in playmate all the time. And
So
we
in that
played
way, I think
all
it's
the
cool.
time. We never watched TV. The TV was very rarely on unless we watched like Star Trek.
Yeah, because there was nothing really on back then.
And
In the
commercials.
freaking 80s and 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had Star Trek. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Once a week.
Yeah.
And then as we got older, there was a few shows that were really cool. Like I remember Airwolf,
Oh.
Miami Vice.
Our parents were the first ones to get a computer. Dad, I literally swear he bought the original Apple computer.
For sure.
He was like, this computer is the most amazing thing in the world. And my siblings were really good at playing computer games, and I hated computer games. I hated computers. I hated TV, hated anything like that. And I remember losing you guys for like a month. I'm like, guys, let's go play.
Yeah.
We are playing. Yeah.
Yep.
Then you guys got bored of it.
Yeah, because back then the technology wasn't as good.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
like one game, and it was
Yeah.
Like
It was like Tetris
Pong or something.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
gunk, bounce it out the walls.
After a month, you guys are like,
After
okay, we're
they're
over
like,
it.
Okay, this is stupid.
What did you guys play all the time? Jen and I played Charlie's Angels.
I don't know what Charlie's Angels is.
Charlie's
I know the
Angels?
TV show.
Yeah, that's
I
what we
watch
would
it.
play. We would just play imaginary Charlie's Angels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you guys play like
We
Batman
played the
and Robin?
sandbox.
Oh yeah, you did play in the sandbox.
So we'd be like building structures all the time
yeah,
and destroying them with the hose and then rebuilding them again.
you had lots of cars
Yeah,
and
that was
Tonka
my
trucks.
favorite toy of all time.
Me too. My favorite toy of all time was a Tonka truck. Her name was Charlie.
Was it the yellow one, the big
Mhm.
old
Yep.
diesel dump truck?
Mm-hmm.
Those were back then. Then they made something that actually lasted. Like
Yeah.
that thing, you could literally kill somebody if you hit them over the head with that.
I know.
You'd open up their skull.
Yeah, and it wouldn't die. The Tonka truck never died.
Yeah, it was like an axe.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy cool.
Now everything's plastic.
Yeah.
Push that against somebody's head, it'd break on their head, and they'd be like, "Ow, what was that?" You have a shard of plastic all over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's true. Yeah. You guys were cute when you'd play all the time.
that's fun times.
I remember we had the 2 bullies in our block.
Yeah,
Remember
the
that?
Kelseys.
The Kelseys and Christopher across the street. Was it Christopher?
No, you had Chris and Greg
Yeah.
Kelsey,
Oh, okay.
and then who's the kid? Brandon.
Across the street. Yeah. Yeah. We had the neighborhood bullies.
Pfeiffer. Fife.
Yes.
Fife. That's was.
We don't need to say their names.
Oh,
They're probably very
dead
nice
now.
people now. And for
I
Orem,
guess they'd
Utah,
still be alive. They're similar
Utah,
ages.
they were pretty hardcore bullies.
Yeah, dude. Like, how did we turn up to be good people? They were like, if our parents knew all the things they were up to,
I know.
dude,
Yeah.
they would have moved us away.
Well, I'll tell you why. Do you want to know a secret of your childhood? So, second day I moved in. No, second day we move in. Greg, he was the big bully. He chased me around the yard and tried to catch me, and he was always mean and saying mean things to me.
Right.
But little did he know, I was tiny, but we moved around a lot before we landed in Orem, and I was the oldest, and we were always because we moved around so much.
Right.
And since I was the oldest, I would have to beat up people that beat up on my siblings. So I got real scrappy and real tough and real mean.
Uh-huh.
I was super nice, but I could get really defensive and really mean. You just picked on me.
You had
and
like
picked
two
on,
switches. You had like the nice Robin, then you had like
for reals. I would take
the Wolverine Robin.
I would take mom's level and turn it up. Yeah.
You're like, my mom knows how to do
Yeah.
this.
So one day, Greg finally caught me, and I just punched him in the face, just knocked him right out, just knocked him on his butt. And the next day, that night, he came over with his dad and knocked on the door, and my dad answered the door and said, "Robin, is it true that you hit Greg?" And I came to the top of the
What?
stairs, and I said, "Yeah." And they were both like, okay, because it was hilarious because he was a year older than me. And
Why
10
did
times-
Why did he bring his son over?
I don't even
'Cause
know.
At that time, when we moved there, I was like 3, almost 4.
Yeah. I
so
was
you would be
about 7.
10.
Oh.
No.
I
Yeah,
was-
because Jen's 5 years older than me. So you would have been 8, 9.
Yeah, I was about 8.
Yeah.
I think I was about 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his little brother, who was a little older than my brothers, would pick on them, and I would go out there and just pick him up and shove him off and like throw him down on the ground.
That's
I was
crazy,
like, you
dude.
will not
Yeah,
pick on
they
my
were
brothers.
horrible kids, man. They were like, they were like into porn.
Drugs.
Yeah, and this was
alcohol,
before the
partying.
internet, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you had to like go and find that kind of stuff. That wasn't just at your
It
fingertips.
was in our yard. It was everywhere.
Yeah, they were crazy. They were into drugs. Their parents smoked,
Yeah.
right? And they
Drinking,
probably could
partying.
drink whatever they wanted.
Getting kicked out, going to jail, all kinds of things.
Yeah,
It'd be
dude.
fun to
How
lift
did
them
we-
up again.
How did we turn out? Not like
Because
them.
our parents made us be so nice.
Oh, thanks, Mom and Dad.
They really did. Yeah. There was 0 tolerance for that.
Yeah. So I don't know if I told you this story. So so we lived in this house, right? And then the Kelseys that lived next to us. And we lived there forever.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved around a ton before then, but then we moved into Orem. We lived there
Rooted.
forever. And eventually my parents moved out, and Dave bought that house or
Yeah.
moved into that house or whatever. And I went over to visit him one time because our kids and his kids are the same age. So I like went over to visit him. And when I was young, the next door neighbor had these poodles. They always had poodles.
Mitzi.
Freaking yipper dogs that were really small, but super obnoxious, barked all the time, you know, and they would chase you, even though they're like this tall. Like,
Ferocious.
hated those dogs. And we were always scared of them when we were little kids, you
Mhm.
know, when we would like come around the house. We walked home from school. So we'd walk home from school. We'd like run past their house and the dog, we'd get in our house before it would like come and get us. Anyway,
Before it would eat us
fast
alive.
forward 30 years, I'm going over to Dave's house, and I get out of my car. I'm like walking up his steps, and this little poodle comes running out.
No way.
Yip, 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 yip. And I turned around, and I freaking field goaled that dog. Just full on kick, punted it. Like, I don't know what happened. My eyes rolled back or something. And I turned into this demon, and I just kicked that dog as hard as I could. And it flew like 15 feet, like over the other. It was trying to land on its feet like it thought it was a cat, but it was really a dog, so it didn't know. So it was like, blah, 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 blah. And then it goes screaming. Yeah, it cries. And like a little smirk came onto my face.
Dude, your whole childhood came back and you're like, oh,
I just kicked that dog.
I am not a little kid anymore.
I've never kicked anything in my entire life. Did I play football? No. But I can imagine if I was like the punter or the field goal kicker, it would have been the same ferocity.
Oh my gosh. There's some of these things we should probably edit.
No, this is good. I like all these stories. So I kick this dog and it goes crying back to its owner or back to its house, like runs in, and I just go and knock on the door, and like somebody that lives there now, whoever they were, like peeked out, and I just acted like I didn't know what was going on. I was like, that was weird. Your dog just was like crying for some reason.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, so funny. So they looked out and they're like, what's going on? And I was like, and then they like went back in their house, and I was like, this is the greatest day of my life.
Somehow everything just came into balance. The universe.
All those past injustices by that stupid dog. Paid for by its great grand puppy.
It probably was.
Right? Because I mean, dogs don't last that long. So forward 30 years, that's probably like the 10th iteration.
And I think that family still lived there. Like, I think the same thing happened. Like the son came back or something. Yeah.
Right.
So they probably just had poodles, great grandkids. Poodle paid for the.
Oh, so funny.
Misty was her name. Mitzi was
the dog's. Yeah. The original, the OG.
The original poodle.
Puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. You guys probably loved those dogs. And we were like, I hate you, little
puppy. She was just mean to everybody. Yeah.
That's the reason, like, I don't own a dog and will never own a dog, period, probably. Although when your daughter, Charlie, came with her dog and she was like showing all the little things she had taught that dog, I was like, that's pretty dope.
Legit. If you really have to invest in raising them really well for the first year of their life. Full on attention, 100%.
Dogs.
Because dogs are smart. And so you have to teach them how to be obedient, not smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't got no time
for
that.
It's a lot of work, dude.
Yeah.
But that first year, if you invest all of that energy and effort into it, you'll have like the greatest.
Then it's kind of coast after
pet and best friend ever. Yeah.
Maybe when my kids move out and I need a friend. No, I'm just kidding. I have my wife. She's wonderful. We're best friends. It's great. You're like, ding.
I know. I told Blake.
That's what I need on the little sounds. Like that little ding. You know, the little shiny something. Like this one doesn't do it. No, crickets.
No, crickets. Yeah, no.
Although that would have been funny if I was smiling and you were like, crickets. Like, where'd those crickets come from? Get out of here, crickets. You're ruining it.
This isn't boring.
This isn't an awkward situation.
At
this
all.
Is totally real.
I love it. It's good. Yeah, you lucked out with the having kids at the same time as Dave.
Yeah, they're like
sister.
Perfectly aligned.
Yeah, that was my dream. My sister and I would grow up together, have the same house, live in the same neighborhood, we would have a house that had like a secret passage under the ground so we could just go into each other's kitchens and have coffee in the morning. Even though we were raised not to drink coffee, we would have had hot chocolate or something, and our kids would be growing up together, and it would be the best. And we'd go on walks in the little buggy in the carriage, and they'd play soccer together and swimming lessons and be valedictorians together. And yeah. She
and then
still
what
to
happened?
This day
Jenny
has
ruined
no kids. Yeah. Until last year, she's like,
At least she's married. Like, just think if she wasn't married, and then you like had thought that you had like grandiose visions of like going on double dates together with your husband.
That part did happen. Yeah, because her
if
husband.
she was single, then you were like,
Yeah.
why are you so freaking boring and you ruined everything? I hate you.
Well, Jen and I have been single together on and off for very many years.
Okay.
So we're very much like we were married for a long time. She was like my person, my partner, my everything.
So when she got married, like her husband's like,
well, we were good at having
this Robin girl, she needs to beat it.
Yeah. If her boyfriend didn't like me, that boyfriend did not last.
The boyfriend was
I was
out.
like, and next, no. If I didn't like him, next.
But Robin, I love him. There's
Doesn't matter.
There's plenty of boys out there you can love, girl.
I don't.
Get that guy out of here.
It's a true story, though. Seriously. I would tell her, you have till tomorrow afternoon, and he better be gone. He was. It's so cool.
See, but it wasn't like reverse, because I remember Jen was like, dude, Robin's guy.
Yeah.
He's a fun killer.
Yeah.
So obviously she didn't have the same power over you. You could like tell her, that guy's out of here. She's like, I don't like that guy, Robin. You're like, no, he's great. You just need to get used to him. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. But she married the coolest guy now.
Oh, yeah.
And I married the coolest guy. And they're like soul brothers.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
Sometimes I think they're kind of like, you know how we were saying Greg and Chris were like a bad influence on us? I think sometimes Blake is a bad influence on Will.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that way? So
I love that about it.
Jen, don't listen to this podcast. If you're listening to it right now, you need to turn it off. Here comes the story. So we used to be able to, I love the UFC, right?
Oh, yeah.
And when big fights would happen, Jen and Will, they have this giant projection, big screen, TV against the wall. It's like 120 inches, it's huge, right? So we were like, whenever they'd have a big fight, we're like, I would call up or I would text Jen and Will and I'm like, hey, let's watch the fight over at your house. And they're like, okay, let's do it. We can have chips and blah, 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 blah. Right? So we did this a couple of times. And then Blake came over one time and I don't know if he brought some friends or if Will brought some friends or whatever. And he brought like, it wasn't a keg, but it was like a freaking.
Lots of beers.
Yeah. like a, not a thermos. What do you call those big things?
A cooler?
A cooler. He brought a cooler full of this stuff, right? Anyway, him and his friends, they had like 2 or 3 friends over. They got plastered at the game while we were watching the fight.
Yeah.
And then I think it ruined it. Jen was like, I don't think she liked it.
Oh, really? That's
yeah, because they were acting like freaking weirdos, you know, like drunk people do. They're just like super silly and nonsensical and overly like dramatic. Yeah. So like, anyway, I don't think she liked it. And so fast forward like a month or 2 afterwards, there was another big fight and I texted him and Jen's like, I don't do fights anymore. And I was like, oh man,
really?
I bet it was because of freaking Blake getting plastered.
No.
So she doesn't. Yeah.
Huh.
You have to bring it up. Maybe she'll watch this and she'll tell me.
Blake and Will, they're kind of funny.
Because Jen, she won't tell me the truth.
She won't.
Because she's like, I think it's just overly violent. I can't watch it. And I'm like.
But no, I seriously think that's what she thinks.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's what she thinks these days.
Do you think it happened on that Ronda Rousey fight where she got head kicked?
Could have been.
Knocked out and she's like, oh, I don't like this.
I think part of it is she is a physical therapist at a neurological hospital.
Okay.
And I think that has
she's like,
really.
Hey, I know what CTE is. And when you're
brain damage
kicked in the head and your body falls and you bounce off the floor,
yeah,
it's not good.
It's not good for you. Yeah, I seriously think that's what it is. I think she's just seen so many real life head traumas that she's like, I can't handle that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I always thought, that's just an excuse for, hey, I don't want my husband to get plastered and then we get in a fight or something. I don't know.
Yeah, when the brothers are together, they're going to get plastered every once in a while.
Really? Do they like doing that?
Every once in a while. They're
That's
so
funny.
cute together. They're adorables.
That's funny.
Yeah.
We went on a hike to Sundance one time, and they got kind of,
Oh,
they
yeah.
had too many beers one time.
Yeah.
And afterwards, they were like doing headstands on the grass and stuff, just flopping over. And I'm like, okay,
You're a danger to
I'm
yourself. Yeah.
you guys had like a concert that evening. I'm like, dude, I'm glad I don't have this concert because
Seriously.
like I cannot babysit adults. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
No, it's true. We were in Ireland together, the four of us. And one night we were at a pub and they had a singer, a live singer, and it was super fun. And they had their Guinness. That's the drink of Ireland is Guinness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they had their Guinnesses. And when we drove back, there were 2 rental bikes outside of our hotel. And next thing you know, we're walking in the hotel, but they're gone. They took the bikes. They were gone forever. I was like,
What?
hi.
They just like stole some
Yeah.
people's
They
bikes and
just
took
these
off.
little rental bikes and were gone forever and came back. They were so hilarious singing and
Oh, that's
yeah, they're
hilarious.
adorable.
Yeah. At least they're that way,
They're
I don't know
super
anybody
happy.
that's drunk, but there are like the angry drunks, right?
Yeah, they are just so not that.
Yeah. So the happy drunks are better.
They just
than
get
the
more
angry
fun and more friendly and more loving and more
Yeah.
in love with each other.
Yeah. And then they'll say like crazy stuff and then they'll hang on me and I'm like, oh, okay, I
You're
can't.
like, guys,
I don't know how to deal with this.
you've never been drunk.
Never, ever.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
so
hard.
funny. Like I have people at work and they don't believe it. They think that I'm like, I don't know, sheltering them because I am like putting up some kind of persona like I'm some great religious person. I'm like, no, I just never, ever.
No.
The closest I ever got to drinking something, I was a missionary. And we knocked on this guy's house. We're, introducing him to the gospel and he's not interested like most everybody, 100% of people. Anyway, he's like, I'm not interested. It was like 10:30 in the morning. And we were surprised because it was a dude that came to the door. Usually nobody's home except for grandma and grandpa's at that time. Anyway, so we were talking to him and he's like, nah, I'm not interested. And he's like, hey, but can I get you guys a drink? And we're like, oh yeah, I would love some water. Cause it's Okinawa. It's like freaking 100 degrees and 100% humidity. Right. So he comes out, big, tall glass of clear liquid, looked exactly like water. Gives it to me with a little smirk on his face.
What?
I'm like, So I like bring it to my mouth like this close to drinking it.
And you can smell the
And
alcohol.
I could smell it.
Oh,
It was
my
like
gosh.
really, really strong.
Wow.
And it was clear, right? So what is that? Like
straight
100
up
proof?
Everclear or vodka?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, whoa, bro. I said water. And he's like, oh, that's water. It's the good water or whatever.
It's
And
the good water.
I'm like,
It's
I've
the
never-
holy water.
Exactly. So I was like, dude, you could have probably killed me with this. And he's like,
I'm
like,
complete-
I've never drank alcohol before, so this probably would have
Alcohol
sent me into
poisoning.
some kind of
yeah.
state.
Catatonic convulsive
Yeah.
seizures.
So that
yeah.
was the closest I ever got this close.
Yeah. Whoa.
A big glass of 100% alcohol.
Yeah. Seriously.
He
Way
probably
to
had a
avoid
still.
that.
It was probably like turpentine or something.
Probably. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the closest I ever got.
It's like, I'm going to take these missionaries down to the dark side.
I know. Wouldn't that have been so funny if he had actually done it? Like I'd actually drink like many sips.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sometimes you just drink something
Drink,
without
drink,
even
drink.
tasting
Yeah.
it. And then when you're done, you're like, what if I had done that? And I'd
Killed
be like,
over.
"Blah! What was that?
If I couldn't have taken you down to the dark side, nobody can.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the dark side is. But yeah, alcohol is just not interesting to me.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
It's not really interesting to any of us kids. Don't you think that's interesting?
Yeah. I think a lot of us may have parted ways with religion in some way or the other, but it seems like
We're still
we still have those,
at our
those
basic
kind of
roots.
moral codes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a moral thing as much as an intellectual thing.
And it may be just habit.
Yeah. Well,
Like deep down and you're like,
I think that it's been fun because 3 out of our 4 siblings are not religious anymore. But we haven't changed a whole lot. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like we're kind of all the same people.
I think we've always been that way.
Yeah. And
I don't mean non-religious. I just mean really nice people.
Well, and also we just have that lifestyle, that clean lifestyle. Like we're all very active and we all are very health conscious.
Yep.
And so I think that the drinking, partying thing was just more of an intellectual decision as far as like, I just want to get up in the morning and run. I don't want to have a hangover.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like when we go out on vacations, on family vacations.
Yeah, we run.
We
every
run
morning.
everywhere we go. We run, we do yoga, we do handstands. We just, that's what we do. So, or we go hike,
Yep.
go snowboarding. We're not interested in partying at night. We go to bed early.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Most
because
people,
it's
they're
not
not into the same vacationing that we do.
Yeah. In fact, my husband, the first time he came vacationing with us, you know, like for years, he was like, what is it with your family and having to exercise every single day? And I'm like, that's how we tour. We run. Like that's our favorite thing to do.
And like we don't do a lot of sightseeing per se.
We do activities.
Yeah. So in May, we're going to go to Washington, D.C. And so I was talking to my boys and I'm like, yeah, we're probably just going to do a lot of, I don't know if there's a lot of stuff to do down there other than just like sightseeing. And they're like, what's wrong with that? And I'm like, well, we don't really.
We've never done that.
Sightseeing, you know? I'm like, when we went to Mexico, we went to the beach, we went snorkeling, we went scuba diving, we went
river
zip
rafting.
lining, you know, all these different types of things. And so I was like, never did we just go into the town to see something.
No.
Whatever.
And Roy's the coolest activities director. When we went to Bali, wasn't a whole lot of activities planned ahead of time. So he just straight up got online, found out, made us a roster every single day. We did something high adventure.
Oh, it was so fun.
So fun.
It's still like one of my top memories.
I
of all
give
time.
you all the credit for that fun trip. Yeah. That wouldn't have been as fun without you making all the plans.
Yeah. I would say the least fun thing we did was the elephant riding.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? When we went back, he gave us such a fun trip that we took all of our kids. We have 6 kids and significant others. So there was like 14 of us that went, and we took them on every single
activity
trip
that we did.
You
Yeah.
did, but we upgraded a little.
Yeah. Cause you did the same waterfall, rappelling thing,
Mm-hmm.
but you like did even more.
Yeah. And then the river rafting trip, ours was way better. And then the hike up the volcano, ours was a little bit better because we got monkeys. So when you and I went, we didn't get monkeys at the end. We went a whole different trail on the way back and had a complete amazing monkey experience.
Oh,
Every
that's super
single
cool.
one of us had monkeys sitting on our shoulders and eating fruit off of us.
But weren't you saying that the sunrise wasn't as good?
Sunrise wasn't as good. It
yeah,
wasn't
because it was overcast or something
yeah.
like that.
And then, but our elephant experience was really nice, really legit place, gorgeous, really well kept and loved on animals. We took a ride on the elephant, which I didn't think was ethical, but apparently it came with our things. So we watched them pack the blankets and the chair on them. But then I talked to the guy who was riding him, and he had been with that same elephant for every single day for 21 years.
Oh, wow.
Every
So
single
it was like his companion
day.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So the relationships and the bond there was super obvious, and the care that they had.
So he didn't
for
have like the
elephants.
hammer like our guys did?
They did have the hook, but he never once used it. He said the reason the hook is because this is a huge wild animal,
Right.
and I have to ensure your safety. So
Right.
just in case for emergencies, I have to have this hook because it is a wild animal, and you are people who could get squished.
Stampeded?
So yeah, so he
Yeah.
had to take that measure just in case. But he said I don't have to use it, and it was a really cool experience. So yeah.
But you were able to say that you like fed them and you like bathed
We
them or
fed
something
them, we
like
bathed
that?
them, we swam with them.
That'd be so cool.
You could watch along the breakfast buffet that overlooked the yard. You could watch the trainers walk with their elephants. There was no leash. There was no nothing. They just walked with their elephants. Their elephants were like their pet.
Yeah, I think that
For real,
would be a better
companionship.
experience.
Did you
then-
know I just read something the other day that said elephants look at us and have the same hormonal experience that we have when we look at puppies.
Oh, really?
Elephants
They're
think
like,
we're
"Oh, look at these
super
little
cute.
humans."
Really, they think we're the cutest little things, like little puppies.
Right.
Like puppies are for us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, kind of cute.
Hey, I'll be an elephant's puppy any day.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't kick me.
So it thought that
I
we
will
were.
not be that little yipper dog to the elephant. Just don't kick me, bro.
Karma, you should be careful around.
I
an
know,
elephant.
right? Like, Robin said, I'm a little elephant puppy, so this might not turn out well.
Yeah.
Send my kids out first.
Yeah. Go test this for me.
Test this elephant out. Make sure he's not the kicking
Walk
one.
all around it and let's see how you come out.
But yeah, I mean, that would be super cool to like feed it like something and have it grab you with its little
Yeah, it's
little nose.
It's so soft and sweet, and you look them in the eyes and they're just the sweetest little
Yeah.
things, and their big old ears that could take you out because they're
Yeah.
huge. And
I was telling everybody, I think riding an elephant would be super cool if you could ride on its neck.
I did. Remember
That would be awesome.
the day we went, I asked if I could ride on its neck.
Yeah.
It was way better than the basket.
Those guys that when we went, they were super into you white chicks.
Yeah.
Seriously. They
We
were
got
like,
anything we
you could
wanted.
have gotten anything you wanted.
Our elephants went
White
up on
dudes,
it.
they're like, shut up, get out of here. But
Yeah, they made our elephants do everything. The elephants stood on their hind legs.
Uh-huh.
We took the elephants in the water. The elephants sprayed us. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that part, that I was a chick.
Yeah.
I thought it was just charming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take it. Whatever. I got to ride on the neck.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you could ride on the neck, it would be super cool.
It was
but when
so
you're
much
riding
better.
on that basket, it's like,
Yeah, it was
You're
so
like, this
awful.
is not cool, dude. It's like, what part of this is supposed to be fun? Because, like,
And they walk so slow.
yeah, and they're so lumbery.
Oh
and-
my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our experience in the other one was way better. They walked more fast. The baskets weren't rocky.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we got a tour. It was awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I think of that week or that 5 days that we were there with fondness every time. Like,
So
the
fun.
best. Like, what was funny is that we didn't know any of the activities they were going to be like. Like, I just, we'd get home at night. I'd open up my laptop and I'm like, things doing Bali, you know? And then I found this, hike up the mountain, and I'm like, to go see the sunrise. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. But then I was reading a bunch of reviews, and everybody's like, this is the number one thing you should do at Bali. If you don't do it, you're an idiot. And so I was like, okay. So then I told everybody that we had to leave at 12:30 a.m. Right?
Was it 12:30
was
or
past
2 in the
midnight.
morning? I think it was like 2 o'clock in the
Was it
morning.
2?
Mm-hmm.
So we had to leave at 2, and everybody was like, no, bro. And I'm like, no, we got to do this. You have to do this. And so somehow I was able to talk you and Blake
We were totally in.
and
the only
Jen and
people,
Will
the only
and
people
Becca
who were
and her
out
daughter.
were the wedding couple.
Yeah. And
A
Melissa's
couple of
mother,
the
right?
visitors,
And
yeah.
those other visitors.
Yeah.
whatever. But I remember I had to like convince some of you,
Probably Becca.
and especially Becca and her daughter. I was like, Becca, you need to do this.
They
man."
wore flip-flops.
Yeah.
Literally wore
That's
flip
all.
flops.
It wasn't that that's what they wore. It was that's all they brought.
Yeah. That
Like,
was crazy.
seriously, Becca thought she was going to sit in the villa the entire time and never leave. That's what she told herself and her daughter. Like, we're just going to sit at the beach and the swimming pool and get massages and eat food. That's all we're going to do.
She
and
didn't
then-
know us very well.
Yeah, she didn't know us at all.
She got baptized. Yeah.
So
Wow.
I was like, dude, you have to go and do this with us. And so we went, and we didn't even realize what was happening. Like, we got
Full
there
on.
and it's still 4 o'clock in the morning when we
Mhm.
get there. And
Pitch
they're like,
black.
okay, we're going to hike. And we're like, okay.
So
this-
black you can't see what you're climbing up, but it's razor sharp volcanic rock. So you have to just lift your feet as high as you can. You just had a little flashlight. That's all we had.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they had these guides, and we're like, we don't need guides. We freaking hike
All the time.
all the time during the summer. We don't need somebody to help us hike. And they're like, no, you have to do it. It's apparently part of the law in order to spread the money around. so happy that we did it because
Yeah.
they were really cool.
Super nice.
And we paid them like, they spent the whole day with us and we paid them like
They were
$5.
like little mountain goats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do that every day.
Yeah. Every day, walk all
Every
the
day,
way up
all
the
the way up to the
volcano
bottom,
and all the way back down.
Anyway, so we went up, and as we're going up, we would take little breaks, and you'd look down, and you'd see this trail of light.
Yeah. It was like watching traffic from Las Vegas to LA.
Yeah,
Like
but
just a
like
string
in
of
one of
lights.
those cameras that are like they leave the lens open, so it's like a streak
Yeah.
of light.
Yeah.
That's what it was up the mountain.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is magical.
Yeah. It
We're in
was
a
so
magical
neat.
place. And so then we like hiked to the top, and the sun started coming up. But there's the ocean, and then there's land, and then there's this this mountain that we're on, and the whatever clouds or steam or fog comes rolling out, and it covers the land, but it doesn't cover the ocean, and it doesn't cover our mountain because we're so high.
And it looked like if you walked off the cliff edge of the mountain, you would step on a pillow of clouds.
Yeah.
It was the most magical thing.
It was the most unbelievable sight I've ever.
And then pretty soon this ball of red just starts to burn it away and come up.
Yep. It was so
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
I have pictures. It was so great. And then when we'd gotten our fill of taking pictures of the sunrise and looking at that beautiful thing, then we hiked down and had a fun time.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was cool.
Yeah. We have the coolest Sibs.
That was cool.
Yeah. We got to do another fun family vacation like that again.
We should. That would be
I
fun.
want to go to Thailand.
I want to go to Thailand too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Allison won't go to Thailand. Did you
She didn't
watch
come
my
to
little?
Bali.
She didn't come to Bali for the same reason that she won't go to Thailand. She has like some kind of thing against South Asia.
Huh.
It's so sad. It makes me sad.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Did you watch that video
Yeah,
about
it's
why
hilarious.
Taiwan is not Thailand?
Just because they're spelled the same at the beginning, T-A, oh, wait, they're not.
So stupid. Oh yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it was good times.
I love making fun of myself because I'm so stupid.
My sister loves making fun of me.
Really?
Yeah. She'll laugh at me for hours. I don't even know what she's laughing about.
But you're such a good sport.
She
You're-
just thinks
you're
I'm
okay
so
with
funny.
making
Yeah,
fun of
I guess
yourself.
so. Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're fun to be around us because we're okay with just making fun of
Oh,
ourselves.
totally. I couldn't be me unless I was okay with being made fun of. I wouldn't have lasted.
So I could never take myself seriously. It's like,
Never.
why are you taking me so seriously? I don't even believe what I'm saying half the time.
Well, and
and I'm someone saying it.
when people say if they have a choice of they were wrong or I was wrong, I know it was me. I know I'm always the one that was wrong. People, Blake will half the time say, I promise you, it wasn't your fault. Like someone will honk at me and I'm like, oh, sorry. I know, sorry. He's like, you didn't do anything. I'm like, I'm sure I did.
Sure I did.
I always do.
Something that did it. Yeah. Yeah. What was the thing up there in Bali? Yeah. What was kind of cool was I had to convince Becca to do that. Right. I think that was our first adventure was the mountain. Right. And then we did.
She hiked that entire volcano in her flip-flops.
In her flip-flops. That was crazy.
I don't even know how she did it.
Yeah.
But she did. I was so proud of her.
She stopped a few times, but she did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we eventually, like, after a few days of like taking her and convincing her to come with us, she was finally like, she woke up and she's like, okay, Roy, what are we doing today? And I was like, oh, hey,
All
I
right.
like that attitude. How do you feel about heights? She's like, I don't have a problem with them. I'm like, good, because we're going to go jump down some waterfalls.
That was
an
fun.
epic time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so much. That was so fun.
So fun. You went.
Rappelling.
Yeah. We either got our choice to rappel down a waterfall, slide down a waterfall like a water slide, or you had to jump off the waterfall.
Yep.
Or zip line down the waterfall.
Yeah, I didn't do the zip line
Yeah.
thing.
It was so
You
fun.
guys did that, right? On
Yeah,
the very last
on
one?
the very last one. But it was quite an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Blake got hurt during that
Yeah.
time, right?
When we took our kids, it was super cool because we did a few different activities than what we did when you and I were there. But there was one that was a pretty tall jump. It was the tallest jump down into the water.
Okay.
And you had to do a specific landing in this little tiny area. So you had to land in the middle of this little area.
Right.
And there was a little overhang. So you had to jump over the overhang. And the way the rocks were, you had to step purposefully and completely commit to jumping off. So there was a lot to it,
Wow.
right? And it completely intimidated all of us before we even could decide. So my son, who is almost 30, he came up to me and he said, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I think I'm taking the zip line down." He's like, "Yeah, me too." All of a sudden, there goes Faith. Like, she was what?
The youngest, right?
Yeah, the youngest, scared of everything. We call her our safety kid. There she goes.
Safety
Then
kid.
Aaron's son.
Like, hey, Faith, do you want to do this? No? Okay, we won't do it.
Yeah, 10, he goes off. And I'm like, what the heck? So Nick goes, what? And I go, well, I guess we're jumping now. I mean, we have no excuse.
Right.
So yeah, it was terrifying. But of course, the best part of the whole thing, because the scariest it is,
Right.
the bigger the reward.
Right.
Right. And you're like, I did that.
Yeah. What's also interesting, I didn't even know Blake hurt himself when we went. Like he hit it, I guess,
It
because
was
he
really
didn't.
rough.
It didn't see any symptoms.
Yeah, he has had a bad back his whole life. He's been a bull rider and a gymnast and motocross racer, so constant impact. So the biggest waterfall, I do remember the guide saying, if you go to this one part, it is slippery, so be careful. So he did slip, and all the force of the waterfall was falling on his chest.
Oh,
So he was
okay.
hanging backwards on the
Right.
harness. Yeah. And then we had all the rest of the trip to do. Then we had all the airplane flight home. Having to sit was the worst part. And then we got home and we literally picked up the kids and went on a road trip
Right.
up the California
Coast.
coast. So he had to drive and sit for that. So that was pretty intense. But still, all he remembers.
And that was when he was like, "What is it with you and your siblings? Always like,
he's like,
why can't we just sit down and get drunk or something and watch?"
why do we have to do all the activities?
Right.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
no, he doesn't even remember that part. All he remembers is the fun.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. He doesn't even talk about that or even think about that part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think my wife in some aspects feels the same way, because like we went on a vacation to Banff National Park up in Canada, and they have some really big mountains there. And they have this thing called the La Faretta or something like that, where they drive nails into the cliff face, and then they string a giant cord, like a metal cord, all the way up the cliff. And then you have a harness and you clip into that metal cord so that
Wow.
if you fall, you'll only, and they have like nails every like 10 feet. So if you fall, you'll only fall 10 feet,
Wow.
and then it'll catch, right? And then we climb the cliff
Wow.
with that thing. So you're climbing the cliff, and then you like, every 10 feet, they have like another
Wow.
nail. So you have to like unclip and then unclip and then clip in, and then you keep climbing.
Wow.
Anyway, Allison is afraid of heights, and she was not
Did
a
she
super
do it?
fan of that, but she did it. And afterwards, like if you talk to her now, she'd probably be upset about it, but I was very impressed.
Wow.
I became more in love with her after that event.
Seriously.
Yeah, because that's probably a big thing to overcome your fear.
Yeah.
And it was like, when I say cliff, I mean like this.
Wow.
Like
Straight up.
if straight up is 90 degrees, it was like 85.
Oh my gosh.
It was like straight up.
Wow.
It wasn't just like a hike up
Yeah.
a hike up to
I'm terrified
Bridalveil
of
Falls
heights,
or something like that.
But as long as I'm tied on, if I'm tied on, I have something attached to me that will ensure I don't die, I'm fine. Like I've parachuted twice.
Mhm. I want to go parachuting.
Yeah, you would love it. It's so fun. They closed that place down because too many people died.
The parachute place? Oh,
It was
snap.
the one place you could go and take someone 16 or older. And so every kid turned 16, we took them.
Okay.
And then we checked in the next kid and they closed down because too many people died.
Oh,
We're like,
jeez.
oh, okay. Wow. Good to know.
Like, well,
Wow.
we played Russian roulette
Yeah,
and
holy
we
cow.
didn't get killed.
Yeah. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, I had to learn that from my adrenaline junkie family. You, Dave, Jen, my kids.
But I've never
Blake.
jumped out of a plane before. I
Oh.
want to. That's like my bucket list.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Ogden.
Do
Don't
they
even
have
have to
a
go that
thing
far.
up there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Let's do it.
it'll be fun.
You sign me up.
Yeah.
When
When
will
do
we
you turn
it? Summer.
50?
4 years from now.
4 years? Oh, that's a long time to wait.
That's too
Like
long.
that'd
to
be
wait.
kind of a cool 50 birthday thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We could do it at 50, but we don't have to wait till then.
No, we don't. We could do it again at 50. Yeah. Blake loved it so much he wanted to get certified.
Really?
Yeah.
And do a
Loved
solo
it.
jump.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty hardcore because you have to do a lot of jumps.
No, I want someone behind me.
yeah.
I want someone completely responsible. But they were cool. Like the last time, this is probably why they got shut down. But apparently you don't go into the clouds. But he let me control where we were going.
Okay.
Like I could control it. And I said, look at those clouds. Let's go into the clouds. He's like, we're not supposed to, but okay. So we went into the clouds and
What was it like?
yeah.
Did
it
you
was
get wet?
super cool. Nope.
Okay.
It
So
fast.
it was just like mist.
Yeah, just fast. I just remember it being white. We weren't there very far. We weren't there very long because we were falling.
Right.
We were falling fast. It's super loud right when you get launched until they deploy the parachute. And then it's just so peaceful and amazing.
That's cool. So are you saying that you went through the cloud after the parachute was deployed or
Mhm.
before?
Oh, what did we do? I can't remember now.
Because that would be super cool if you were like
Yeah.
diving
I think
straight
we
through there.
were diving
You're like,
straight through it.
"Poosh."
Yeah. But it was only for
like a split
quickie
second,
because we
right?
were falling fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy.
that would be cool.
Yeah. Life is cool. People are cool. We do cool things. That's why I want to live to be at least 150 or 200 because it's only going to get better.
You need stem cells, I guess.
Hey,
keep you
that's
youthful.
what I'm thinking. I'm thinking with science and
I have
my
this,
great attitude, I'll
I
live
have
forever.
these friends, these online friends that there's this place down in Tijuana. It's like kind of a retreat /
Mhm.
spa or whatever that people who don't have a lot of money go down. So they have cancer and they don't want to go through chemotherapy or they don't have enough money for chemotherapy or whatever. They go down to this place and they get the stem cell treatment injections. So it's kind of like a day spa. They'll spend like a whole week down there,
Wow.
maybe like 3 to 5 days or something, not a whole 7 days, but they'll go there and they'll just got like stem cells injected throughout their whole body.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, that's what I need.
Yeah.
And I don't even have cancer.
My husband has stem cells.
Yeah.
Yeah. His back's
got him
so
in
much
his
better.
back, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So what did they do? Did they take it from his own bone marrow?
I don't really
Or did they get it?
remember.
Okay.
They didn't do that, but they had some valid stem cells. I don't remember all the research he did on it, but he felt really good about it. So
But it was bloody expensive, right?
bloody expensive. Worth
Yeah.
it though. The
But
rehab
that's why
and
I'm saying,
everything.
like, if you go down to Tijuana, it's
Yeah.
like 100 times less
Wow.
than what
He
they
was
charge here
willing
in
to
America.
go. He was wanting to go somewhere. It wasn't Tijuana, but I think
Panama.
Panama. He was gonna go to Panama, but then he found some really good stuff here in Utah. So-
Yeah, the guy in Panama, we watched the same podcast.
Oh, okay.
The guy in Panama, most all of his clients are from America. So
Oh.
he charges the same like
Tons.
ridiculous amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he says he uses like straight viable stem cells from placentas from mothers that have already given birth. So
Yeah.
pretty potent stuff.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So I don't know, but I feel like with medical technology and a great attitude, taking good care of yourself, you can just live forever. At least 150.
You'll have to show me.
Yeah.
I
show
always
you.
say
I'll
like
do it first.
after 80 I'm good.
No, Roy, that is so young.
That's what Allison says.
No, I'm like,
But I just don't want to be that 5-year-old kid who's wearing diapers.
No. no, I have a theory about aging. I think that we copy other people just unconsciously. We copy what aging is and we
Uh-huh.
think that's what we have to do. But I don't think we do. I think we can reinvent aging and make it what we want.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you.
You show me?
Yeah.
I'll follow
show
your
you.
lead.
You just follow me. We're going way past 80. If I die at 80, I'm pissed.
You're pissed.
There's no way.
You're pissed.
No. Yeah.
So I'll be Gamora to your Star-Lord.
Perfect.
Like at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 1,
Okay.
when they're getting in the airplane, and Gamora turns to him and says, "Where are we going?" Or no, Star-Lord turns to everybody else and says, "Where should we go?" And Gamora says, "We'll follow your lead, Star-Lord."
Okay. I'm Star-Lord. I'll
Yep.
show you. I'm telling you. I am over 50 and I've never felt better. I'm more
awesome.
flexible than I used to be. I'm stronger than I used to be. I'm more active than I used to be. I'm more driven than I used to be. I'm more ambitious. I'm like hungry all the time to learn stuff. More adventurous. Like, I think we've been sold a bunch of bull about getting old.
Maybe you got the better body, because like mine, it's broken in a few spots.
I have
my
to,
knees, dude. Like what? Why did I get the bad knees?
Well, I think that there's a secret to a little bit. I think you guys were so athletic when you were younger. I started later in life. So I do think you've had probably a little more wear and tear.
Maybe, but like you were on like the dance team and crap like that in high school, right?
But probably not like volleyball.
Yeah, you weren't jumping all the time.
Such impact, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't do things super extreme. And I think that helps me last longer.
You're not super explosive.
I just do.
Me, it's like that's all I do is explosive stuff.
Exactly. So I think you
sending it off mountains, snowboarding, wakeboarding, wake to wake.
If you notice me when we go snowboarding, he's taking all the jumps. I'm just going down. So I think I just am enough mellow that I've lasted a lot longer.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
that's my
theory.
My fear. But I think another 20 years from now, they'll be able to replace this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get bionic legs.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be that.
Babe, we're gonna take our
What
brains.
was that guy back in the 80s? That television show.
Yeah, the $1 Million Man.
$1 Million Man.
No.
What was this? Steve Rogers?
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah. I'm gonna.
Was
be
it the Bionic Man or the $1 Million?
I think it was the $1 Million Man.
Yeah. Bionic Woman.
Bionic Woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling you, it's like Star Trek.
Mind of gold.
The future is just in our imagination.
Yep. I'm going to have those bionic legs.
Do you remember Star Treks?
And then when I run, I'll make the noise. I'm sure they won't make that. Yeah, dude. I bet if we went back and watched those shows, we'd be like, this is garbage.
Awesome.
This is so horrible. Why do we have to watch it in slow motion? Why don't you speed it up instead of slow it down? That makes no sense.
That's a good point.
Whose idea was this? He's going super fast, so we're going to slow it down.
I know. Blake
Garbage, but I loved that show.
I loved it.
Oh,
the possibilities.
Every week I watch that show.
Yeah. It's like Star Trek too, though. I remember we used to watch it and my husband just like, they're little phasers, boing, 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 ching, chung. And I'm like, no, it was like the cell phone and time travel and we're going to get beamed up, Scotty. That's so happening in my lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, we already have the cell phone, right? Because they're like,
exactly. And remember how you used to always say computer? We say computer now. It's just Alexa.
Yeah, with Siri, right?
Yeah,
and
Alexa, Siri. Yeah. And then they have like the replicator. We have 3D printers.
Yep. Now we
they
just
had a
need
microwave. We never knew what microwaves were.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's where the microwave idea came from.
It is. That's where the cell
Star
phone.
Trek.
Yeah, you just have to start a thought and then it becomes reality.
So when are we going to get our transporters?
I don't know. Please, like in the next 10 years.
How cool would that be? Just, I want to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Zwing, zwing.
Ding.
Done.
Yeah.
I don't have to sit in a
My husband tells
seat
me that
for
all the
16
time.
hours.
He's like, Robin, we don't have, what do they call it? Teleporters.
Teleport.
Teleport. He's like, Robin, we don't teleport yet. Because I'll be like, what time do you have to be there? 9. I leave at 9. He's like,
right. You're like,
there is a travel time you have to think of. I'm like, no, people need to catch up with me.
We're not X-Men, Robbo. We can't teleport.
I know. I'm like,
You're not Nightcrawler.
I know. I was born just a little bit too early.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's in my genetics. I should be teleporting.
Yep.
Yes. So that'll happen.
That's great. We should be X-Men.
Yeah.
Or Star Treks.
Yeah. Star Trek
Ian's.
and all of that is just happening. We're just catching up with the ideas.
Because I mean, we have our self-driving cars that are going to come. So like when we drive to Vegas, we'll just watch a movie instead of have to drive. Yeah. How cool is that going to be?
I know. I have a self-driving car right now.
I want to drive and see it like, you know, what do they call it? Where you pass another car. You overtake. I want to see it overtake, move into the next lane.
It will.
And then when they pass it, it moves back.
Yes.
Have you done that?
Yes. I
So
just
cool.
the other day.
But you have to keep your hand on that stupid wheel for some reason.
Yeah, they just want to know there's a conscious being alive, paying attention,
Right.
just in case. So I think it's a good idea while they're, it's still all kind of in beta. But the other day I was at Farmington Station and I got to park in the electric stall, right? It's like you get the best parking if you have an electric car.
Okay.
And I just hit park and it auto parked me. It like spun the wheel, backed up. So I was parallel parking next to a car behind me that had kids getting in and out of it. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to keep my foot on the brake just in case. No, it spun the wheel, backed up, pulled forward. And literally, if this is the square of the parking lot, the parking space, my car was perfectly in the middle of that parking space. Dude, falcon wings go up. We all get out. The kids are just staring at us. It was so cool.
They're like, Mom,
I feel like,
why do we have this piece of crap car?
and they're all like, they're little kids and they know, oh, it's the X. Do you love it? Like little
Right.
kids. Yeah. They can barely talk and they know what the
They
Tesla
know
X
what the
is.
X is.
Yeah.
I don't
So
even
cute.
know what the X is.
It's
I mean,
the
I
falcon
do,
wing
but
doorway.
yeah,
It's
I've
the
heard
badassest
the
one of
doorway.
all of them.
I had a neighbor that had one, and I used to make fun of him all the time. I was like, dude, that's the ugliest piece of shiz ever. I'm like, I'll take the S every
It's
time.
no way. It's so sexy.
But now, with those freaking 20-inch rims you got on
Yes,
there,
exactly right. Dual motor.
makes the big difference,
It
dude.
makes all the difference.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you have those crappy whatever
I know.
wheels that it
Yeah.
comes with that are like supposedly
Come on.
aerodynamic,
No.
get that shiz out of
No,
here.
no. Yeah, she's so sexy.
Bam.
I love her so much. I don't.
And then
think you
those wings open, and then you can just kind of step into your car.
You,
You
can
don't have to
sta-
duck.
You could stand up and
Yeah.
then sit in the very back
And then
seat
you just sit.
in the way back.
And then it just goes.
Yep. And the way back is so nice because the second row has captain chairs, so you have all this space. You can have access and see everybody and everything going on.
And the
So
captain
great.
chairs aren't fixed, right? They can
They can go forward and back, but they don't swivel.
oh, they don't swivel?
No.
What?
Wish they
I
did.
thought
That would have been
I thought
super
they had
cool.
the swivel thing.
I don't think so, because if they would have, we would have gotten that option.
How cool would that be?
It's so
like
cool.
swivel around and talk to your buds on the
Yeah, I
front.
know.
Like just scoot it up and then swivel it back,
Yeah.
and then you can like play cards and
Yeah,
shit.
seriously, with every single row, minus the driver, maybe.
Minus
now.
the driver, maybe.
For now.
It's like I may or may not have put a
He's like got a hold
a
of the
drink
steering
bottle in
wheel.
between the
Yeah,
steering wheel so
exactly.
that it thinks that I'm still
I
holding
bet
it.
people have come up with something like that.
Oh yeah,
the
for
pressure.
sure, right?
Yeah. That's so funny.
I thought that they would have some kind of like, some kind of low ampage electrical current going through, so you had to like complete the circuit, kind of a thing.
Oh.
But I don't think they do that. I think it's just like a pressure thing.
I think it's a pressure thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
people probably could get their drink bottle like,
I know. I just hang on to it like this.
yeah, where you're not literally driving, you
Just
just kind
kind
of
of
hang
rest.
on to it.
Yeah, it does all the other work for me.
That's so cool.
It probably saved my life on my drive home from Vegas one time because we drove home. It was like 4:00 in the morning. And the last hour, I was literally leaning on her and just had my hand on the steering wheel. Like, get me home, sexy. Her name's Sexy.
Sexy.
Yeah, S3XY.
Oh, okay.
Because Elon Musk did it that way on purpose.
Right.
He has the S3. He wanted the E,
Yep.
but some other company already had the trademark E, so he turned it around.
So the Model 3 is a backwards 3?
Mm-hmm. It's
Interesting.
yeah.
I don't know.
And I didn't even know that, but when I typed her name in,
Yeah, and the
'cause
Y
she's-
is the one that's coming out soon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I didn't know that, but I typed her name in, Sexy, and then I found out that he wanted all his models to spell sexy, so I flipped my E around
Nice.
2 or 3. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. She's so pretty.
Pimp.
Yeah. Love her so much.
Did you bring it today?
Yes, of course.
Oh, maybe we should go get some lunch and you
Yeah,
can
we
drive me in your car.
totally should. You can drive her.
Okay.
I'll totally let you drive her.
Uh-huh.
Just think Star Trek. Yeah.
Bam.
Or Back to the
Well,
Future.
let's stop this thing. This is wasting our time. We could be driving a car. Just,
It was fun hanging out with you
that
guys.
was fun.
I don't know why you'd want to hear about our
That
childhood
was totally
reminiscing.
awesome. I love those childhood stories. I didn't even think that's what we were going to talk about today.
I know.
Maybe we'll have to do this again because I thought we were going to talk about. I was going to ask you because you know how you're starting this, or you have been doing this life coach thing. So I was going to ask you some silly stories that maybe you had done.
I have so many good life coaching stories.
You know, not like the serious ones where people like come and tell you that their life is utter crap and then you build them back up into this normal human. But just like some funny ones, you know. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you have any of
we
those
have
funny stories.
So many good funny ones and inspiring ones, and just I always call it magic. Like just magic happens.
Yeah.
So many fun stories.
That's what I intended, but here we are an hour and 30 minutes into it. We didn't even get to that. We were just talking about childhood stories.
Seriously, an hour and 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's what this says.
I know. When Roy and I go to lunch, it's like 3 hours.
It's they have to kick us out.
Yeah.
I think they walk by glare. And they're like, do you not see me glaring at you?
Aren't you guys thirsty
like,
at
I'm
least?
trying to make money.
We're trying not to give you any water. So
like,
we'll continue this
we put
on.
a broken sign on the bathroom, just hoping that you have to go to the bathroom, and you're like, oh, I can't go here. We better leave.
I guess we got to go now. Yeah.
But I think those childhood stories are fun. Like I had one podcast previously, you haven't listened to it yet, where I told about my first week in Japan when I was a missionary. Oh, it's freaking hilarious.
Good time.
At least I thought it was hilarious.
I think your stories are hilarious.
Some of the few people that listened to it thought it was funny too.
Okay, I'll have to listen to it.
Yeah. I probably haven't told you those stories either.
I don't know many.
You don't know any stories.
This is the first time I heard about someone trying to get you drunk.
Oh yeah,
or kill you. I'm not
there
sure
we
what
go.
his
I don't know
intention
how
was.
many people I've told that story. That is hilarious. That guy, freaking A. And I think like he was plastered too.
Oh.
And it was like 10:30 in the morning.
Right.
Like, yo, bro.
He's like, I could make some friends right now. They don't even know what's coming.
We're like, are you one of those people that like wakes up and like goes to the fridge and pours himself a tall glass?
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting way to start your day.
Maybe that's why he wasn't working.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
He's like drunk 100% of the time, can't hold the job down. Maybe that was his parents' house.
He answers the door for missionaries.
Because he was like
probably
30
worked
something.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe he had like talked to him before and they had like shared him this religious thing. So he's like, the next time some of these guys come around, I'm going to try and get him to drink some
I bet you it's
alcohol
worked
that they
before.
said was no good.
Or even since or after.
Yeah. Because I bet he would have laughed really loud if I would have like drank it and then spit it out and then coughed and died or whatever. However I would react.
My master plan.
Got it. That'll teach you from coming to knock on
and
my
your
door.
companion's like, can I have some more, please? Come on in, brothers.
Companion's like, I haven't had this since I was baptized.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
anyways, we're going to go to lunch.
Okay.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed our little conversation with my favorite older sister, Robin.
Thanks.
And we'll have her back some other time, and she can tell us about her life-changing advice she gives to others.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. See you later. I think we're going to leave out with a clap truck. Oh, no. Dang it. There we go. The clap track. Yes. See you later, everyone.